ఈ కార్యక్రమానికి సంబంధించిన వంద కావించాల్సిందిగా కోరుతున్నాను.
Good morning all of you. It is indeed pleasure our principal sir for giving permission to conduct this particular 2-day national seminar. Next, I would also thank our co-convener madam for putting up great efforts in conducting this. Dr. Maithili madam. Also like to thank media and all the faculties from the various colleges and our students who have attended this inauguration session. Thank you one and all.
Now, tea break for 10 or 15 minutes.
కన్ఫర్మ్ అందులో ఇందులో వచ్చిందని సాఫ్ట్ కాపీ చేస్తాం. ఫస్ట్ పంపించాను. నమస్తే మేడం. అందుకే లోపల పెట్టండి ఎప్పుడో పెట్టారు మేడం. నాకు ఎప్పుడో మెయిల్ ఐడి అడిగారు మేడం. ఇది చాలా రోజులు అడిగారు. నాకైతే రాలేదు అందుకే మేడం లోపల పెట్టేయండి, చూడొద్దు ఇంకా అందరూ మీ నుంచి తీసుకుంటారు. లోపల పెట్టి మేడం మౌనిక మేడం ఉండాలని చేసాము. 15 డేస్ టెంపరీ లింక్ పాస్ చేసి మీ డ్రైవ్లో ఉందా? లింక్ ఇచ్చేయండి. లింక్ ఇచ్చేసి నేను ఇక్కడ ఓపెన్ చేసేస్తాను. డ్రైవ్ లింక్ ఇచ్చేది కాపీ లింక్ షేర్ చేసి పెట్టదు
మేడం సరే అని చెప్తాను ఇవి తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయి
స్టూడెంట్స్ చేతి పంపించండి. అక్కడ కొన్ని ఉన్నాయి, మళ్ళీ మనం వాలిడిటీకి ఇవే యూజ్ చేయాలి.
మౌనిక మేడం మీకు లైవ్ స్ట్రీమింగ్ లింక్ పెడతా.
ఓకే,
అది ఈ ఆన్లైన్ గ్రూప్ ఉంది కదా, అందులో పోస్ట్ చేసేస్తే వాళ్ళు నచ్చుతుంది. సెకండ్ సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యి పెడతారు. ఇప్పుడు ఎలాగో స్టిల్లో ఉండిపోయింది కదా, ఇక లింక్ పెడతాను, పోస్ట్ చేసేసి. ఆల్రెడీ 6 months బ్యాక్ మన కాలేజ్ దాంట్లో ట్రయల్ వెర్షన్ వేసుకున్నాం. అప్పుడు అవ్వలా, అప్పటికి ఇప్పటికి 24 hours దాటి
మూడో కంటే కనిపించకుండా కింద మన డిపార్ట్మెంట్ ఫీజు తీసుకొని ఫీజు డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో పెట్టుకోవచ్చు. ఆ బ్యాగ్ ఎవరు అడిగినా
లేదో ఆ బ్లాక్ బ్యాగ్
వద్దు తెలిపి మన డిపార్ట్మెంట్లో ఎవరు అడిగినా మరి రేట్ చెప్పకుండా పడుతుంది. ఇంకేమైనా ఉన్నాయా ఇక్కడ? లోపల కూడా తీసుకెళ్ళిపోయి
లోపల ఇవి ఉన్నాయా?
అక్కడే ఉంది.
కింద మ్యాథ్స్ మేడం ఉంటారు లేరా?
మన ఫీజు అక్కడే
మన ఫీజు అక్కడ ఎస్ అన్న దీంతో ఉంటుంది కదా, ఆఫీస్ రూమ్లో ఉంటుంది, ప్రిన్సిపల్ రూమ్లో ఉంటాయి కదా.
కింద
వస్తారు వస్తారు. అట్లీస్ట్ కొన్ని నేమ్స్ ఉన్నాయి కదా, ఆ నేమ్స్ మనం చేసుకుంటాం కదా, నేమ్స్ వెళ్ళాలి కదా. అమ్ములు ఓయ్ అక్కడ ఉంది, అక్కడ ఉంది, అక్కడ చక్కగా అందంగా ఉంది. కరెక్ట్ సెట్ చేయి, 4 కరెక్ట్గా సెట్ చేయి. కొంచెం వెనక్కి పోయి, ఇంకా ఇటు పక్కది కూడా వెనక్కి పోయి, అలా ఉంది. ఇంకా ఇంకా వెనక్కి పోయి. ఎస్, ఈవినింగ్ తీద్దుగాలే అలా. మేడం లింక్ షేర్ చేస్తారా మాకు? ఒకసారి నాకు షేర్ చేసేసేయండి, ఇది వాట్సాప్లో వచ్చేసేయండి. ఏది ఓపెన్ చేయాలి
ఆన్లైన్ అవైలబిలిటీ ఉందా?
ఏది లైవ్ స్ట్రీమ్లో
అవుతుందా? రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ అయితే ఆన్లైన్ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఇస్తారా?
వాళ్ళకి కావాలంటే హార్డ్ కాపీ ఇస్తారు.
హార్డ్ కాపీ ఇస్తారా? అదే ఒకరిద్దరు
సెపరేట్ పోస్టేజ్ ఇవ్వాలి. లేదు మాకు ఆన్లైన్ సర్టిఫికేట్ ఏదైనా 500 కట్టేసి
వాళ్ళు అమౌంట్ కట్టేస్తామన్నారు.
ప్రెజెంట్ చేస్తారా?
ఎవరు?
ఓన్లీ సర్టిఫికేట్.
అంటే లైవ్ స్ట్రీమ్ అసలు ఎలా ఉంటుంది ఏంటి అనేది చూడడానికి.
లైవ్ స్ట్రీమ్కి ఉంది, లైవ్ స్ట్రీమ్ ఉంది, రన్ అవుతుంది. సెకండ్ సెషన్ అప్పుడు లింక్ పంపిస్తాను, అది వాళ్ళు జాయిన్ అవ్వచ్చు.
ఓకే, నాకు అడిగారు కింద 2-3 ఆ విషయం గురించి.
ఉంది, ఇప్పుడు రిజిస్టర్ అవుతానంటే రిజిస్టర్ అయ్యింది. షేర్ లింక్ వాట్సాప్ ద్వారా కాపీ లింక్.
Slides. Download. మేడం మీరుందా సుజాత మేడం శ్రీలక్ష్మి మేడం ఇక్కడ ఓపెన్ అయ్యింది మేడం. మేడం ఇంకేం చేంజెస్ ఉండవు కదా, డౌన్లోడ్ చేసిస్తాను. నో చేంజెస్ ఫైనల్. నా ఫోన్ ఎక్కడ పెట్టేసి నా ఫోన్ ఇది మేడం ఒకసారి మేడం ఓపెన్ చేసాను, అందులో యాక్సెస్
రిక్వెస్ట్ ఎనేబుల్ చేయండి.
ఎనీబడి కెన్ వ్యూ అన్నది ఇవ్వలేదు.
రిక్వెస్ట్ యాక్సెస్ ఇచ్చారు.
ఆ మేడందే ఓపెన్ అయ్యింది ఇక్కడ. మేడం మెయిల్ ఐడి కాదు అది, మేడం జీమెయిల్ గూగుల్ డ్రైవే కదా ఇది.
యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయండి. రిక్వెస్ట్ యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయండి. మేడం చేస్తున్నాను రిక్వెస్ట్
నేను
మెయిల్కి వస్తుంది మేడం. మెయిల్ అవుతుంది మేడం.
డౌన్లోడ్ చేసి బాగుంది.
పెట్టేసాను మీ టేబుల్ పైన పెట్టేసాను. కీస్ కూడా వేసుకున్నాను.
ఓయ్ ఆల్ 10 మెంబర్స్ వచ్చారా? గొడవ చేయకుండా వినండి, ఓకేనా? బ్యాగ్స్ కింద తీసుకున్నారా లేదా? లంచ్ కూపన్స్ ఒకసారి కింద రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ టీం ఎక్కడున్నారు? కింద రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ టీం దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళండి. మీరు వెళ్ళండి, మీరు చెప్పండి క్లాసెస్ బ్యాగ్స్ ఇస్తున్నారా తర్వాత ఇస్తున్నారా అని వాళ్ళు ఇచ్చేస్తే ఆ 10 తీసుకొచ్చి మీరు ఇవ్వండి. లంచ్ కూపన్స్ అంటారు ఫాస్ట్గా తినాలి. లైబ్రరీ ఏమని ఉంటుంది? బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ ఇంటర్నెట్ అని ఉంది. బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ ఇంటర్నెట్ అని ఉంది. కిందదా? రెండు ఉన్నాయి ఇక్కడ. 2.5G APHL 90 అని ఒకటి ఉంది. బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ ఇంటర్నెట్ అని ఉంది. ఏపీఎస్ఎస్డిసి అని లేదు అసలు. ఇదిగోండి బిఎస్ఎన్ఎల్ ఇంటర్నెట్ అని ఒకటి ఉంది. 2.5G ఇది అనుకుంటున్నాను, అది కాదు, ఇది ఉంది, అది పెట్టండి. చాలా టైం పట్టేస్తుంది నాకు ఫోన్ ఇది కావాలి. ఇంకెవరైనా మేడం లలిత మేడం వాళ్ళకి వెళ్ళి ఉంటారు కదా, వాళ్ళని అడిగి వాళ్ళతో అడ్మిషన్ నా ఫోన్ ఫిక్స్ నాకు ఇక్కడ అవైలబుల్.
స్టడీ చేయడం చెకింగ్ పాయింట్స్ అన్నీ కూడా చాలా yes went back yes
They are all the students in this campus.
very glad to meet all of you. God bless all of you. I am very proud of that you people have invited. You are very fortunate.
ఆదిలక్ష్మి ఆదిలక్ష్మి సార్ సార్ నేను ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఉందని అడిగితే సిస్టంలో పెడతాము సార్. ఇంట్రడక్షన్ ఇచ్చేస్తారు మేడం, చదువు మీరు సార్ మీకు ఎక్కడ సార్ మీ ప్రజెంటేషన్ ఏమైనా కూడా సిస్టంలో పెట్టాలని అడగండి.
నా గోల్ కూడా చెప్పేది గైడ్ తీసుకుపోయింది.
లేదు సెషన్ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యాక మాకు ఈ విసినిటీలో
I request all the participants to settle down. I request all the students to come and please be seated. An important announcement to all the participants. We will be providing you with a soft copy of the souvenir and the updated souvenir will be mailed to each and every participant. Now I call upon Mrs. Adilakshmi Madam, lecturer in economics, to introduce our next keynote speaker, Dr. Jagannath Panda Garu, to the dais.
A very good morning to one and all the dignitaries and participants, students. It's a national seminar on NEP 2020. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce Professor Jagannath Panda Garu. Professor Jagannath Panda is a former professor of commerce in Berhampur University, Odisha, and he has an outstanding academic record. He was University Gold Medalist in MCOM in 1973. He topped Odisha Public Service Commission in the year 1976. Professor Panda did his PhD in capital formation in the corporate sector of Eastern India from the Berhampur University. He became Professor of Economics in 1990. As a senior most professor of the university, he handled Women PC Council, member of Syndicate, Senate, Academic Council, Director of Distance Education Center, and Controller of Finance, and member of Finance Committee, and various designations. He has completed one advanced minor research project funded by the university. And he contributed 95 research papers and 23 books in reputed journals and publications. And 25 students got their PhD and one D.Litt under his able guidance. Our today's national seminar convener and president of this college and the principal Dr. K. Sriramulu Garu, one among the research scholar of Dr. Professor Jagannath Panda Garu. After serving for a period of 38 years, he got retired as a professor of commerce from the Berhampur University in the month of January 2012. At present, he is working on spirituality and Vedic Vichar. And recently, he has received Lifetime Achievement Award 2023 from Odisha Commerce Association. We really feel blessed to have such an eminent personality among us, and now would like to invite Professor Panda Garu to deliver his keynote speech on highlights of National Education Policy 2020.
Principal of this college, Professor Sriramulu, the great. I am really proud of him because he has occupied the various posts of the academic in his career. He has visited so many universities for education. Whenever he goes to any university, he informs me that I have visited this college for its affiliation. I am really proud of the colleagues of this women's college, which is well known throughout Andhra Pradesh and outside the Andhra Pradesh also. I am really thanking each one of the colleagues of this great college and the students of this college and all the faculty members of different departments who are present here and who are to address you on this two-day national seminar on National Education Policy 2020. I always say that Nasa sabha tatra nasanti vruddha Nate vruddha de navadanti dharma Nattat dharma tatra nasanti satya Nattat satyam jata chaleno Viduro, the great minister to great Dhritarashtra, the great, he was telling to Dhritarashtra, Nasa sabha tatra nasanti vruddha. That meeting, that seminar, that conference, unless otherwise the old people are present. Question arises. Dhritarashtra asked, Mr. Vidur, that you tell me who is the old man? Those who retired, they are not the old men. Those who have only white age, they are not the old men. The old men are those who are talking about dharma. Then again the question arises, what is dharma? Vidur told, my lord, dharma is not that where there is no truth. Truth is the greatest symbol of dharma. Then again question arises, what is the truth? Truth is that which is crystal clear like sunshine, which is not covered by something else. We should not guard. Three people are telling that this dog is not that, dog it is a goat. Then it is not a satya, it is not. So I am fortunate enough, you are the learned people who are present here to listen this gentleman, humble gentleman. I will tell that which gives a human being for his own salvation. Sa vidya ja and I have seen that in the new education policy 2020, the yoga will be taught to the students not only in the schools but also in the colleges but also in the universities, so that the people will learn that the chakras that are there in the human body, one can go through those chakras and can lead to salvation. So by taking the yoga, I think that the great Prime Minister Modi has rightly pointed out that at a particular point of time, that in 2050, our country will be the global superpower. It is going to be the Vishwa Guru. Unless we have multidisciplinary knowledge, we cannot be a Vishwa Guru. And in the multidisciplinary, intradisciplinary education is included in this new education policy. I will later tell each one of that. Similarly, you must be knowing the Kabir Das. Kabir Das was telling once upon a time that Pothi pad jagmoa pandit no hua ko. Thaya kar prem ka padhe ta pandit. You can read so many books, so many shastras that will not help you to be a knowledgeable man. He is regarded as a knowledgeable man who loves prema, who loves his country, motherland. The students, I have visited once upon a time to Kashmir University, to JNU. I have seen the people. My brother was a student of JNU. He was a student of Hindi. They were taught the Soviet Russia literature. You must be observing in the TV every now and then. They are creating problem for the country itself. So that's why it is said that by taking the degrees, by having the degrees to your credit, that will not help you unless you are loyal towards your motherland, loyal towards your own people, loyal towards your gurus, loyal towards your parents, loyal towards your mother tongue. So every care has been taken in the new education policy to taught students in 3 languages. One is Hindi, another is English, and another is the mother tongue or the local language. So loyalty is very important. One should be loyal towards his parents. But I have seen that so many people, they have thrown out their parents. They have, after getting a good job in the multinational corporations, they have put their parents in the Vruddhashram. It has been found. If parents are suffering from diseases, they send the money. They are there at States, they are at Canada, they are at Russia, they are at Germany. They have no time to visit again to their parents. They are not prepared to take their parents also along with them. This is the tragedy. So, I am quite hopeful the new education policy will address this problem. And it is rightly said that the students should learn to solve the problems. Instead of running away from the problems, they should be able to solve the problems in their own way. So, this is the case. Similarly, it is said that Vidya Dadati Vinaya. Again, Vinaya is the loyal. Savidya, that is regarded as an education, which helps a person to be humble, loyal, Vinaya. Vinaya towards his mother, towards his language, towards his parents. So that is the Vinaya Dadati. Vidya Dadati Vinaya. Vinayam Jati Patratvam. If he is becoming humble, loyal, then he will be fit to get a good employment. So, this new education policy has also made such type of education, that is vocational education, technical education and professional education, so that after passing from the corridors of the universities and colleges, they can get a good employment anywhere throughout the world. Because I have seen that my students, now they are at Australia, they are at London, they are at Canada. So, in spite of that, we find that a good number of people, those who are the non-resident Indians, they have come forward because the industrial policy that the present government has revised and remodeled, as a result of which the people can get all the facilities to have their own industries here in our country. That way investments are coming in huge quantities. So, it is said that, again in this, it is said that when you are crossing a river, a boat is there with you. but a small hole is there in the boat. Can this boat will help you to cross the river? Certainly not. Because water will get into the boat and it will drown on the high river itself. So that's why he said that Apravakkaram Acharjam, those who are the teachers but they are not able to make the students understand about the subject, the depth of the subject, then they will be thrown out. That's why every care has been taken in this new education policy for the training of the in the 2035. Because the present number of universities throughout the country is near about 150. It will be doubled. And that is the challenge. That every week the government should come forward to start a university. Each week, every week, that will be. Then only it will be able to accommodate the large number of enrollments that will take place. Because the present enrollment 2019 it is 26%. And it will be double. Accommodate those people. There will be a challenge to help the universities so that the higher education will be provided to each and every. So I will tell in the later part that what are the challenges that are the government is going to face when the new education policy will be implemented. So it is said that Apravakkaram Acharya. So also it is said that in Gita, Lord Sri Krishna told Arjuna that Gita Jnanam Upasritya Trinlokan Palayamyaham. By the help of Gita and the knowledge that I have acquired from the Gita itself, the Lord Sri Krishna says that I am all these three lokas, Swarga Patal and Swarga Martya Patal, these three lokas I am taking care of. So, Sanskrit, Veda, that will help us to learn a lot. And I am quite hopeful that the Sanskrit is also taken care in this new education policy. So it is rightly said that Gita Jnanam Upasritya Trinlokan Palayamyaham. So that's why Sanskrit is to be there in each and every stage, in school level, in college level, in university level. So that there will be quite a liberty to all the students to opt each choice to follow Sanskrit or Hindi or Urdu as he likes. So this is the case. This new education policy on the direction of the great Prime Minister Modi Sahib, this was introduced and under the chairmanship of the great ISRO chairman. He is an ISRO chairman, he is none else but the Kasturi Rangan. All the scientists, there will be a galaxy of scientists from NASA, from ISRO and other remote sensing. All people were there while formulating this new education policy. They have taken every care. How the country will be a global superpower in the 2050 when it reaches. It is quite visionary in nature, and I am quite hopeful that this new education policy 10+2 and +3 that will be or time to come it will be replaced by 5 plus 3 plus 3 4. This is the case. So it was a release, education policy was released, and this committee has submitted the report on 29th July 2020. But our education policy, which was framed long back in 1986, it will be replaced for times to come by this new education policy. But this online learning in the COVID area, you must have faced, almost all the students have faced, that online learning, they are not asked to come to the schools. They are compelled to remain in their houses, and online learning was given to students. But India is a very big country like this, and all the areas are not well connected with the net facilities. That's why the government must have come forward to have internet facilities in each and every nook and country of the nook and corner, irrespective of whether he belongs to any rural area or urban area. He will get into this new education policy. And the government is trying its best that the 2 million people who are not in the gamut of this school education, they are to be brought back to this school education. In that case, it will be a challenge for the government to have 50 schools every week to accommodate this 2 lakh students who will be getting back into this education, school education. So accessibility, affordability, you must have seen that. To get entry into the technical education, you have to pay a good amount of money. So also in the medical. So that's why it is not affordable. And the government is trying its best to have somewhat 300 medical colleges. So also there will be 300 or 267, I think, nursing colleges will also come up and with these medical colleges. So that the medical facilities, healthcare facilities will be available to each and every people of equity, accountability, and these are the 5 pillars of new education policy. Education skill development is very important, because we have seen that the entrepreneurship education is to be taught to the students of not only the commerce but also the arts as well as science students, so that the skill development will take place, the vocational development, the vocational education will be given to them, and after qualifying from that vocational education and professional education, they can start their own MSMEs, micro, small, medium enterprises. And for that purpose, we have seen that the government has given on the direction of the Prime Minister, the Finance Minister has given a great weightage, and the budget allocation has been given more for the MSME. So that's why at this juncture, my advice will be that in the new education policy, when the students will come forward, instead of joining in the general course, they should opt for some professional education, or they should go for entrepreneurship development course, or they should go for some professional course, so that after passing out from those places, they can start their own enterprises. So instead of job seekers, there should be the job providers. So the job providers will be, because I have seen that, a gentleman who was working there at Surat in a textile mill, he has come forward, he come back, he belongs to Ganjam district. On a budget meeting there at ICAA seminar hall, he has met me and he has shown me the textile products that he is producing. There is a cottage industry at nearby Baram. So he has given employment more than 70 people in his family. So I am quite hopeful that the professional education, the vocational education, and by skill development and entrepreneurship development, this problem of unemployment can be solved in the near future. So skill development for 21st century, and students should create things, should change. So as it is, it should not be thought. So critical thinking and creativity and problem solving. This is the gist of the new education. Similarly, so digitization. So digital universities and technology is to be the hallmark so that it will support students in learning, and so that the education system more flexible and all encompassing with a focus on basic skills, critical thinking and life skills. Global knowledge superpower by promoting research and innovation. After passing for that, they will get a good research scholarship will be given to them, so that they will be very much engrossed with this research, so that they will innovate. Because a long way, when I was doing my research, by taking the Eastern India states, I have categorically said in my thesis that once upon a time, the West Bengal was the number one in the industrial sector. But in the due course of time, what has happened to West Bengal? All the industries have collapsed and they are becoming defunct. And they are closed. And at that particular point of time, there was no government industry, any single industry in Tripura, Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland. So we have seen that the government has rightly taken care so that the IIMs have come up in the eastern states, in each and every state. And medical colleges have come up, and universities have come up. One of my students of my department is there as the professor of Nagaland. Some of the Oriya people are there in the Nehru, Nagaland, Eastern Hill University. And one of my colleagues of my commerce, my political science department, he is the vice chancellor of the university. So now the government has taken every care for those eastern states and has started some industries there in those states. improving education quality, expanding to access to education for all. Higher education to increase to 50% by 2035. And from the present position of 2019, 26%. Okay, no, I will take it. In the higher education, I will tell one thing that quality universities and colleges are to come up a new and forward-looking vision for India's higher education system. So forward-looking and a visionary university should come up. And I am quite hopeful that this new education policy will address this problem. The institutional restructuring and consolidation will take place in the higher education towards a more liberal education. Liberal education to energize undergraduate and graduate courses, graduate programs, and enhancing professional education through a liberal education approach. Liberal education and research to foster and foster each other. Programs, degrees, and other certifications in higher education. Optimal learning environments and support for students. That is the needed for this higher education. The innovative and responsible curriculum and pedagogy. So the curriculum will be formulated in such a way that it should be innovative, it must be responsive, as a result of which the students will be benefited by that. Student support for learning and development. Student support should come. Then only the students will be interested to go through this higher education. Open and distance learning curriculum and pedagogy for enhancing access and opportunities for lifelong learning. So learning is a never-ending process. It is everlasting and perpetual one. Throughout your life you will be learning. But we have seen that after getting a degree, after entering into a profession, or after entering into a employment, they stop there. But they should go for further learning. So at a particular point of time, my teachers, instead of stopping themselves at the PhD level, they have gone for DLE. They have not also satisfied with that. They have gone outside the country to have their pre-doctorate. And instead of confining themselves to only in commerce or in political science, they have also gone for economics and all other related subjects. So, learning should be a lifelong process. And this process of learning from this lifetime. Internationalization of higher education. Because the government is planning that our country will be the first group in the near future, in the 2030. Energized, engaged and capable faculty, putting faculty back into the heart of higher education. Because we have seen that instead of taking care, the teachers, we have seen that after taking their classes, they shy away from the colleges. So, at this new education policy, the government compels the teachers, the the associate professors and the assistant professors to remain in the college for a period of not 8 hours, so that they can put their heart in this higher education institutions. National Research Foundation. There will be a National Research Foundation should come up as a result of which the research will be qualitative, will be innovative, and research projects will be quite helpful to the government to address any problems that will come up from these research programs. And funding research proposals through rigorous and peer review at all universities and colleges. Creating beneficial linkages among government, industry and the researchers. Because instead of visiting the industries, we prepare a thoughtful statement of such and such industry in the last 10 years. We have never visited that industry. We have never seen, but we have prepared the research project. So in this new education policy, the National Research Foundation will take care of to build the researchers, and there will be a linkage with the industry, researcher and the university and the government. Recognizing outstanding research funded by the National Research Foundation. Then comes the teacher education. That is the most important. Teachers, because the college is known, the university is known not for its buildings, not for its laboratories, but for its teachers. Unless otherwise the teachers are well paid, unless otherwise the teachers are taken well care by the government, they will not put the right thing for the development of students. Because we see that whenever any exam comes out, the people, the teachers, they go for launching a movement, disassociation. So in my state, the teachers, they have come for a movement that their pay is to be protected, their pay is to be enhanced further every year. So it is said that teachers' education, because I was telling you that the number of schools, the number of colleges, the number of universities that will come up, and to accommodate the huge colleges, schools, we need that there should be training, a grade full of trained teachers. And for training, the BD colleges are to be opened. The BD colleges are to be opened in each and every colleges and in each and every university, so that a good number of teachers can get their training and they can be put and they can be posted to the schools and colleges, so that they can impart the right education to the students. So I always say that dedicated, the hallmark of the must be dedicated one. Dedicated teachers rarely will come, because we have seen that online one, determined one, disciplined one, and devoted one. And this structure, that they will be dedicated, devoted, disciplined and determined teachers will be posted to the colleges and universities as well as schools, so that they can impart the right education and the students will be able to have the knowledge of how to solve problems and critical thinking will come, and innovation and new ideas will come, and their vision will change. So it is said that restoring integrity to teacher education, moving teacher education into multidisciplinary colleges and universities. Department of Education in each and every universities, faculty for teacher education, faculty in higher education. Then comes the professional education. Undergraduate education should have professional education, capacity planning for professionals, postgraduate education and research, governance, regulation and accreditation, and agriculture and allied disciplines. So this new education policy should be able to teach the students agriculture to that artificial intelligence. Then only they can be able to innovate the things, they can critically think themselves and can solve the problems at their own rate. Empower governance and effective leadership for higher education institutions. Transforming the regulatory system. Chinmayananda mission. The great Chinmayananda, you must have. I was going through one of the books which was published by this Chinmayananda mission. The formations of the Indians, you can transform. If you want to bring a change, a radical change in India, then you have to change the Indians. The Indians can be changed by this new education policy, by giving such education as a result of which there will be critical thinking, there will be innovation, and there will be progress. Establishing new higher education, teaching technology in education, transforming the regulatory system, design and architecture of the regulatory system. Accreditation is the basis for regulation. Standard setting bodies should be institutions. Common regulatory regime. Additional key focus areas are the technology in education, setting up of a new national education technology forum, and there will be an approach to the induction of technology, teachers preparation and conversion process. I will tell later on, and management. And then comes the vocational education. Integrating vocational education should be set. Vocational education in adults and youth, areas of special focus. Adult education, then comes universal justice. Training a cadre of adult education volunteers, ensuring widespread participation in adult education, promotion of Indian languages. So, we have seen that the present new education policy is very ambitious, and I am quite hopeful that the new education policy will be implemented in each and every state by 2025. And I have gone through a particular journal. I have seen that no doubt some problems will crop up at the entry point, at its origin, but later on all the problems will be solved by the state government because the education is there in the concurrent list. That's why it is the headache of both the state government as well as the center. the challenges of new education policy. Every week is a Herculean task. Now, the present number of universities in India is near about 100. But by 2035-2050, it is the number of universities will come up. And the Herculean task is to have and to open every week one university. The gross enrollment is to be doubled from 26 to 50% by 2025. So that a number of colleges. So that's why that is another challenge. The numbers are now less daunting in regards to our school system. 2 crore, not 2 lakh, I was telling wrongly, 2 lakh. It is 2 crore children who are brought back to the school education. 2 crore people of the country. Then in that case, every week 50 schools are to come up. So that is a so in schools, they have to be back into the school system. Every week 50 schools are to be set up. Funding is a big challenge in the GOVT. In the budget also, the present government is not able to enhance the education budget so far. And in the GOVT area, in the post-GOVT area, it is very difficult for the government to fund all such programs very effectively. Funding is a big challenge in the GOVT area. Current focus in the health care and economic recovery to lower the education speed need to create a large pool of trained teachers. That is another attempt. Interdisciplinary higher education demands for a cultural shift. So there will be a cultural shift in the interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary and multidisciplinary higher education. Targets and timeliness. So that is another challenge. There is a target and within that time limit one has to fulfill that target. The entire policy will be implemented by 2040. This is the target that is fixed by the 100% gross enrollment ratio from preschool to secondary level by 2030. So 100% gross enrollment has to be doubled and in the schools to secondary level by 2030. That is another challenge. Teachers to be prepared for assessment reform by 2030. Common standards of learning in public and private schools. Mission to focus on fundamental numeracy and literacy of all students by grade 3. Universalizing early childhood care and education by 2030. Vocational training for at least 50% learners by 2025. So these are the challenges that the government is to face on the implementation of this new education policy of 2020. And I will conclude by highlighting the new education policy. The new education policy is going to provide quality and affordable education. The new education policy emphasizes holistic and multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary education. Students should know to solve problems at their own level in the real world. 3 languages will be formulated for schools One is the Hindi, another is the English, another is the local language of the mother tongue. In the schools, curriculum will be to teach more fundamental ideas and skills. Technology will be used to make education more accessible and useful. No distinction between rural and urban students, and all should get an access to quality education. Quality teaching by mandatory teacher eligibility tests, teacher professional development programs, teacher education programs at the elementary, secondary and traditional levels and territory levels. Students to get vocational and technical education. To set up a national higher education regulatory council to oversee the regulation of higher education institutions. It is to provide a greater and autonomy to higher education institutions and to promote academic mobility. As a result, both public and private universities are to be governed by the same regulation. A new 5+3+3+4 educational structure to replace 10+2+3 system. Gross enrollment ratio in higher education to increase 50% by 2025. All higher education institutions are to be governed by a single regulatory, except the medical and law college. The master's degree and will be no more there, and it will not be required at all. To summarize, I say that it focuses on a holistic and multidisciplinary approach to help students to learn how to think critically, how to be creative, how to be problem solving. Make education more open and available to everyone. Education be more qualitative, available in regional languages, use of technology in and higher education institutions more accessible. Goal is to change the education system at all levels from elementary school to higher education. Make the education system better and more accessible by encouraging teachers to keep learning and improve their skills, making the assessment and evaluation system better, and setting up a national testing agency to run student tests. It emphasizes the need for education to be truly aligned with the needs of the economy and society, and aims to promote interdisciplinary and applied learning as well. So the new education policy should take care of the economy of the country, should take care of the society of the country. The goal of the policy is to make education more international and to get more students, teachers and ideas from other countries. It wants to set up a national education commission to oversee how the policy is carried out and make sure it stays relevant and meets the changing needs of the country. It aims to bring about the reforms in the Indian education system to make it more inclusive, holistic and responsive to the needs of the economy and society and schools. With these words, I conclude my speech. I am thankful to each one of you for giving me a passionate listening. At the end, I thank the principal, Dr. Namadam, all the learned teachers of this women's college and the colleagues of other departments erudite scholars and the students were given some time to listen this humble gentleman with a lot of respect. Thanking you all.
At the outset, we are very grateful to you, sir, for your outstanding lecture on highlights of national education policy. Really, you have emphasized on presence of senior citizens on every occasion. We have to use ideas and experiences of senior citizens to frame or build a better society and better nation. And you have emphasized on multidisciplinary approach to overall development of human being. With this new education policy, the multidisciplinary and holistic development of individual and society will be achieved. And importance of motherland, mother tongue, it is also very important to serve for the nation. Being a citizen of India, all the educated people around the globe, especially Indians, citizen of India should come back to serve India to achieve India as a global superpower by 2040. And also you have emphasized on ICT learning and online learning, 5 pillars of NEP 2020. That is accessibility, affordability, equity, accountability and accessible. So role of education, especially vocational education, to achieve, to improve entrepreneurship skills, which is lagging behind present now. So we are very thankful to you, sir. You have touched upon each and every point of national education policy. We are really enlightened about this national education policy. Thank you very much.
Thank you, madam, and thank you so much, sir, for enlightening us. Now we will have the second session of another keynote speaker. Before to that, we are live streaming our entire program on YouTube. So the link has already been shared in the group which has been created for the purpose of the seminar. So you can forward it to anyone who would be interested to view this program. So now I request Srimati Padmavati Madam to invite our next keynote speaker, Dr. Simhachalam Garu, onto the dais. Very good afternoon to all. I am Ms. Padmavati, lecturer in physics. Very good afternoon and hearty welcome to this National Education Policy, a seminar on two-day National Education Policy 2020. Today I am very much pleased and it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce such an eminent person, Dr. Simhachalam Garu. Dr. Simhachalam Tabrana is currently working as an assistant professor in the Department of Basic Sciences and Humanities, GMR Institute of Technology, Raja. He qualified for JRF and SRF through UGC National Eligibility Test
and received PhD in English from Andhra University for his research on the use of ICT and multimedia technologies in the field of English language teaching. Dr. Simhachalam has been working in the field of English language teaching using innovative technologies for the past few years. He is not just a committed teacher but also a curious researcher in the academics. He is an active member in various professional bodies at national and international level, such as International Association for Teachers of English as Foreign Language, UK, and TESOL, which is known as Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages, International Association, USA, and Thai TESOL, Thailand, JAN called Japan, and International Association for Teaching English Language. Dr. Simhachalam has participated in many webinars, trainings, courses and FDPs, and there are 25 research articles to his credit, and he presented 18 research papers at various national and international conferences. Dr. Simhachalam is also an active member of the editorial boards of various international reputed journals. Today, I am very much pleased to introduce Dr. Simhachalam Garu. So Dr. Simhachalam Garu is going to present a keynote session on teaching using ICT tools in this two-day national seminar on NEP 2020. A hearty welcome you, sir.
Is it audible now? Check mic check. Am I audible to you?
Please come to the middle of the stage because it's live streaming and you're not visible if you're sad.
Yeah. No.
Oh,
no issue. You can move, sir. No issue.
At the outside, మన విమెన్స్ డిగ్రీ కాలేజ్ శ్రీకాకుళం ప్రిన్సిపల్ గారికి, అదేవిధంగా కన్వీనర్స్ అయినటువంటి ప్రిన్సిపల్ గారు మమత గారికి, మరియు తదితర ఉపాధ్యాయ బృందానికి, విద్యార్థులకి, అదేవిధంగా ఇక్కడికి అటెండ్ అయినటువంటి స్కాలర్స్కి, పరిశోధన చేస్తున్నటువంటి స్కాలర్స్ కానీ, అదేవిధంగా ఎమినెంట్ రిసోర్స్ పర్సన్స్ పండా గారికి. సో ఐఎమ్ సో ఆనర్డ్ టు బి అమాంగ్ us you, sir. So lucky to have your presentation along with others also. నేను అసిస్టెంట్ ప్రొఫెసర్గా జిఎంఆర్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ టెక్నాలజీలో పనిచేస్తున్నాను. నాకు ఇప్పుడే చెప్పారు. అయితే ఫర్ ఆల్ ఆఫ్ us our convenience, in between I would like to speak vernacular Telugu, that is Telugu language. Okay, so that my content will reach maximum numbers. That is my intention. Okay, thank you very much. So ఈరోజు టీచింగ్ యూజింగ్ ఐసిటీ టూల్స్ అని అంటాను. అసలు ఎక్కడ చూసినా ఐసిటీ ఇక్కడ చూడండి. ఇది ఒక మైక్రో ఐసిటీ, ఆ క్యామ్ ఐసిటీ, ల్యాప్టాప్ ఐసిటీ. అసలు ఐసిటీ లేకుండా, ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ కమ్యూనికేషన్ టెక్నాలజీ లేకుండా ఈరోజు అసలు మనం లేవు. అంటే ప్రత్యేకించి ఆ టీచింగ్లో ఉపయోగించడం, టీచర్స్ పర్స్పెక్టివ్లో, లేదంటే విద్యార్థులు పర్స్పెక్టివ్లో, లర్నింగ్లో ఉపయోగించుకోవడం అనేటువంటిది ఒక ప్రత్యేకమైనటువంటి ఆస్పెక్ట్. దాన్ని మనం చాలా అధ్యయనం చేసి, ఎక్స్పెరిమెంట్ చేసి, ఏది సక్సెస్ఫుల్ ఏది ఫెయిల్డ్ అనేటువంటి ఫిల్టర్ చేసుకొని సక్సెస్ఫుల్ వేస్ని మనం అడాప్ట్ చేసుకోవడంలోనే మనకి ఫలితం కానీ సక్సెస్ కానీ ఉంటుంది. సో టుడే ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు ప్రెజెంట్ ఆన్ very briefly. I'm just quietly giving to a farmer a barren land and full of rocks and full of sand, no fertility at all, no water, but I asked him to grow plants and get the yielding. So it is like challenging to me, but this challenge can be overcome with all of your commitment and fullest cooperation in this matter. So, next slide. Can I have a slide control? No, you will do it. మరి ఎన్ఈపి నేషనల్ ఎడ్యుకేషన్ పాలసీ 2020 ఈ విధానంలో భాగంగా ఏంటంటే మనకి టెక్నాలజీని చాలా ఎంఫసిస్ అనేటువంటి టెక్నాలజీకి ఇచ్చారు. అయితే నేను నా పరిశోధన ఇప్పుడు 2014 నుంచి 17 వరకు నేను ఆంధ్ర యూనివర్సిటీలో రీసెర్చ్ చేసేవాడిని. ఆ టైంలో ఎలా ఉండదంటే ప్రీ కోవిడ్ ఒక ఇయర్ అనుకుంటే, ఒక జనరేషన్ అనుకుంటే, పోస్ట్ కోవిడ్ ఒక జనరేషన్ అనుకుంటే, డ్యూరింగ్ ద కోవిడ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ హ్యాపెండ్ జస్ట్ లైక్ baby in the stomach. We witnessed all kinds of tumultuous conditions. అయితే ఈ కోవిడ్ అయిపోయిన తర్వాత మనందరం ఒక రకమైన అండర్స్టాండింగ్కి వచ్చాం. కానీ కోవిడ్కి ముందు ఈవెన్ 2014-13 ఆ టైంలో ఎలా ఉండదంటే, నేను రీసెర్చ్ చేసే టైంలో part of my research, before jumping into the presentation directly, I would like to share my experiences. Part of my research, I was a full-time UGC qualified JRF scholar in Andhra University. I have chosen a study in such a way that I could get the reality, the ground reality from the field. So I have chosen 3 districts as part of my study and collected almost 250 sample size faculty, especially government degree colleges and Indian college, private also. And I think I am happy that some of you are part of that my study also, data collection. And I come to know the perception, the attitude towards use of technology that time. You can just recall yourself what you were then and what you are now after COVID. When I approach the faculty and also student also survey, their attitude, especially their attitudes and perception towards technology using digital learning process, quite shocking. That time that was normal. Compared to the present, that was shocking. What was that result is hardly 30 to 20% of the participants willing to, are happy to, are positive towards using technology that time. The 2014, it is a matter of 14, 13, you take it before, prior COVID, that the drastic and tectonic change happened only after that COVID, because we have witnessed the reality that the burning lava, the impact of the COVID. So we come to the people who outrightly, just turned down the concept of using technology in education, teaching and learning, convinced somehow, practically convinced, because they were asked to work from home, because we had no chance to, be in a normal way, going to college and classrooms and teach and learn. These were, very challenging times recently we have witnessed. And slowly, one by one, what were deliberated, discussed and taught to be the concepts like technology and multimedia, all those things for decades, more than 2 or 3 decades, really realized, people really come into the use of the technology all at once, convinced. People simply, because of their attitude, because of their convenience, comfort, whatever their personalized opinion they have, used to turn down the aspect of using technology, teaching and learning, but convinced finally, because the reality is greater than any other theory or supposition. Reality is today the world is rapidly moving towards the progress with the help of technology. Technology don't think as a computer, high level AI based technology, so artificial intelligence, nothing like that. Technology in a simple terms, at my best understanding, ఏదైనా మనం పని చేసేటప్పుడు దానికి సమయం పరంగా కానీ, చేసే విధానం పరంగా కానీ, వచ్చే ఫలితం పరంగా కానీ దానికి కొంచెం కష్టంగా అనిపిస్తే దాని సింపుల్ స్టెప్లో తక్కువ సమయంలో మనం తక్కువ ఎనర్జీతో, తక్కువ వ్యయంతో, అది డబ్బైనా లేదంటే ఒక సమయమైనా సరే ఎఫెక్టివ్గా బెటర్ మేనర్ మనం రెగ్యులర్ చేసే పని కంటే ఇంకా బెటర్గా మంచి ఫలితం చేయగలిగితే అక్కడ ఏంటంటే టెక్నాలజీ అనేటువంటి ఆస్పెక్ట్ ఉంటుంది. మనం టూల్ అంటాం. మామూలుగా చేసే చేతితో కాలుతో చేసే పనులు, వ్యవసాయం చూడండి, కన్వెన్షనల్ మెథడ్ యూస్ టు హ్యావ్ ద ప్లో అండ్ పుల్లర్ అండ్ ఆల్ దీస్ థింగ్స్. నౌ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ద టిల్లర్స్ అండ్ ఆల్ కైండ్స్ ఆఫ్ ట్రాక్టర్స్. హౌ యూ కుడ్ ఏబుల్ టు యూస్. మీకు ఒక సర్ప్రైజింగ్ ఫ్యాక్ట్ చెప్తాను. ఈ ఒక ఇండస్ట్రియలైజేషన్ టైంలో మనకి ఏంటంటే ఇంగ్లాండ్లో మాంచెస్టర్, ఇంగ్లాండ్ అనేటువంటి ఒక కంట్రీ మీకు తెలిసే ఉంటుంది, బ్రిటిష్ కాబట్టి. సో మనకి 400 సంవత్సరాల పైగా బ్రిటిష్ వాళ్ళు రూల్ చేశారు, అంతా ఎక్స్ప్లోర్ చేశారు. వాళ్ళకి మన నుంచి కావాల్సిన అన్నీ తీసుకెళ్ళి వాళ్ళు డెవలప్ అయ్యారు, బాగానే ఉంది. అక్కడ మాంచెస్టర్ సిటీ ఏదైతే ఉందో అక్కడ కొత్తగా ఒక ఇండస్ట్రియలైజేషన్, లేదంటే ఎంటైర్ ఇంగ్లాండ్ని తీసుకోండి, గ్రేట్ బ్రిటన్, ఇంగ్లాండ్, స్కాట్లాండ్, ఐర్లాండ్ ఇవన్నీ కంట్రీస్ గ్రేట్ బ్రిటన్ తీసుకుంటే ఆ ఇండస్ట్రీస్ వచ్చాయి. బిగినింగ్లో మెకనైజేషన్ అనేది స్టార్ట్ అయింది. ఆ స్టార్ట్ అయ్యే టైంలో యాటిట్యూడ్ ఏంటంటే ఒకటే, సింపుల్గా గ్రోత్గా ఆలోచించలేదు, అప్పటికి ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ లేదు. మెషిన్ వస్తే మెషిన్ విల్ రీప్లేస్ ద మ్యాన్ అండ్ మ్యాన్ పవర్. అప్పుడు ఏంటంటే విల్ బికమ్ అన్ఎంప్లాయిడ్, మనకి జాబ్లెస్ అయిపోతాం, మనకి బతుకు తెరువు ఉండదని చెప్పేసి ఉద్దేశంతో ఒక్కసారిగా ఒక ఆక్రోషంతో, ఉద్రేకంతో ఈ ఎంప్లాయీస్, ఈ వేజెస్ చేసే వాళ్ళు కానీ అందరూ లేబరర్స్ అందరూ కూడా అటాక్ చేసి ఆ యంత్రాలని డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేసినటువంటి పరిస్థితులు కూడా మనం హిస్టరీలో చూసుకోవచ్చు. ఎందుకంటే నాట్ బికాస్ ద మెషిన్స్ ఆర్ యాక్చువల్లీ ఎనిమీస్, నో, దే వర్ ఆల్వేస్ టూల్స్ రిమైన్ సబార్డినేట్ and helping to us. That's it. How we use only makes the real difference. మనం ఇంట్లో ఉపయోగించేటువంటి కిచెన్ ఒక కట్లరీ టూల్ ఎలాగో ఒక విమెన్, డే టు డే విమెన్ ఉపయోగిస్తారు ఒక కట్లరీ కిచెన్ వర్క్కి, అదే నైఫ్ని మరొక రకంగా ఒక మనం పర్పస్ కూడా ఉపయోగిస్తుంటారు, ఒక పీనల్ కోడ్ ప్రకారం క్రిమినల్ యాక్టివిటీస్ కూడా. బట్ హౌ వి సీ ద థింగ్, హౌ వి యూజ్ ఇట్ ఓన్లీ ద రియల్ ఇంపార్టెంట్ ఆస్పెక్ట్ హియర్. సో టెక్నాలజీ అనేటువంటి it can never replace the people. Like teacher, it can never replace a teacher, it can never replace engineer, it can never replace traditional people. No. సో మనకి అయితే ఫిలాసఫీ ఏంటి, ఎందుకు మనం ఈ టెక్నాలజీని మనం ఉపయోగించాలి, ఉద్దేశం ఏంటి అసలు ఏంటంటే యాక్సెసిబిలిటీ. మనం ఏ పని అయితే చేస్తామో, ఇప్పుడు ఇక్కడ చాలామంది ఉన్నారు, కొంతమంది లేరు. అవర్ వరల్డ్ ఈస్ వెరీ స్మాల్ హియర్, ద గ్యాదరింగ్, ద బియాండ్ దిస్ సెమినార్ హాల్ అండ్ ద crores of people are there, millions of people are there. But if anybody wants to access what I am saying now, they can access to that so-called the streaming internet. That is the power of the technology. But how we use it only makes the difference. Accessibility. You can access your teaching, learning content from the distant places at your home also. Take everything positively. There are limitations, there are negative effects also, but we have to use properly. And personalization. Suppose if there are 60 society is the same manner. Our society is educational, sphere. If we take a college, a university, a school as our usually in a conventional sense. But nowadays in a innovative and this modern and fast growing world, the technology, education is not limited to the classroom. You can learn from anywhere, just like you can earn from anywhere. So learning for a student is just like earning for the future for them. The more they learn, the more they can earn in terms of respect, money, whatever. So personalization. If there are 60 students, just like I mentioned, 5 figures are not same in terms of the personality, in terms of their IQ, in terms of their memory, in terms of their understanding abilities, and socio and geographical, topographical backgrounds, cultural backgrounds, all are not same. And different people are here, but we want to feed with the same thing, the same formula, same way, same method, same approach. That is where we just going disastrously wrong. But knowingly, willing suspension of the disbelief. We know that is wrong, but we are deliberately skipping that aspect, and we are proceeding consciously in the wrong path. So there is an aspect called the personalization. So suppose I wish to learn the things by watching, the visual learner, I am a learner. Then you can watch video and listen. And suppose if there is a learner completely depending on the text only, that you can read the text, you can get a better understanding. So some students have the ability, nature of learning the things in association, sociability. When they discuss, they learn better. When they sit together and when they share each other, the knowledge they have, doubts they have, they learn better. I tell you personally, the students who have their own peer learning group, they can learn better. I am not, rejecting or accepting anything. But the fact is, when I was a student, I accept everything conventionally. When I was in Andhra University, I sit in the classroom, I respect, I follow all the lectures, and that's my privilege and opportunity. At the same time, and my classmates and 1 or 2 members and like-minded people sitting together, sharing that understanding, and better help me personal, I can share that. So in that manner, student can learn from there. personalized kind of learning, and we can also give personalized kind of teaching aspects. Not all the time, chalk and talk. Chalk and talk a conventional way. I am not, rejecting anything that is established way. We have to respect it. If the power has gone, if the technology just break down all of a sudden, my final option is chalk and talk, nothing else. That the base, see, 99 floors of skyscrapers you can build, but the one floor is not the top one. That the base one, the foundational one. Such is the importance of having the traditional knowledge of teaching and the grip and skill over the utilizing of traditional methods. Some faculty, modern faculty, they don't even hold that piece of chalk and write something. They usually come with laptop and connect it. That is not like that. We have to be heterogeneous in our approach. The more that heterogeneity, the diversity, the variety is the spice of life. So that variety we have to have. So that variety can be got from the technology. It can give the visual aspects and audio related and text, animations. The only thing is some challenges. Sometimes we'll see the challenges also. And engagement. Engagement in the sense when we involve, when we pay attention. When we pay attention, we learn the things, we understand things. So that engagement comes with again the better the tools we use. So suppose if I travel using the moped, two-wheeler, it takes some time to cover Visakhapatnam from here. Two-wheeler, if I want to go, the time and the process will be different. If I use a four-wheeler, better. If I can use any aerial vehicle, that will be the best. So like that, the tool makes the difference. What you do is the same thing, the travel, the journey is the same, the destination is the same, that how you use the tool is most important. So engagement will involve. When we monotonously present and only talk, students may be bored sometimes because they are not, if I suppose this is the time, as I mentioned, 12:30 to 1:30, this time is absolutely challenging. Usually feel hunger and all. The physical, this hardware, when hardware is not working, the software, the brain won't work. So the both are most important. So like that, so we have to have, there is a intrinsic motivation is important. Why I should learn, why I should teach. So when they understand that the purpose, the very purpose of teaching and learning, and teachers will involve and students also involve and do their best job. So here, and efficiency, one more thing. When I talk about technology, simply take the computer. What is the computer is for? Is a speed, it can do in a rapid manner anything, and efficiency, it won't prone to any errors usually, error free, and also reliability when it is valid, it is reliable, dependable. Like that we have important benefits from the technology. These are the general. So recommendation to leverage the benefits of ICT tools in line with training. And the veteran professors and the Pandas are just deeply presented the details of the NEP in many aspects. And that aspect, if we connect to ICT, the ICT, that the technology has given priority in this policy. How? So how we review our content, how we review our methodologies, how we review our process, and also in assessing. There is a great saying, evaluation or assessment drives the learning. So why we put tests to students? If there is no test, there is no target. If there is no target, there is no journey. If there is no journey, we won't do anything. So simply, evaluation or the assessment drives learning. The better, clear, authentic, valid, standard assessment will lead in term in the cycle of teaching, learning, assessment, so-called curriculum design, planning, whatever in detail we have. Student may not understand that the theoretical process, but they involve, they are the stakeholders. So I just want to say, if there is assessment, usually in my GMR Institute of Technology, and I can relate my own experiences and share to you. And I usually design my own tools simply, the QR code, simply quick response code. I design question paper in such a way and answer key such a way, all the offline sheets, and they will see the question paper and mark what is OMR, optical markup reader. That's it. OMR they will mark. Immediately one by one they finish 15 minutes and I take my mobile. There is a chip grade, a technology, a kind of keynote speech. I cannot train you in any manner, but I can theoretically present these things. So simply open that, just like we take the snapshot, continuous assessment. May not be for submitting or excelling, we can categorize and we can treat accordingly. Just like in a multi-specialty hospital and the doctor treat us. Then they want to do operation to each and everyone entering to the hospital. And as the disease and morbidity, so the treatment and medicine depends. So like that use of innovative technologies, assessment tools, sometimes do the tests also. Such tools, so many tools are there. And look for the ways. What are the other ways we can use the technology in our teaching? Real Rajnikant, and there is another Rajnikant, there's only robot. And the robot, the machine falls in love with the heroine other than, Aishwarya Rai. But she can't accept because it's a machine. No emotions, no feelings. It cannot continue in life with machines. We can use the tool. No machine, no technology can replace our teachers. Next, considering the what we call delivering and the program, all those things we have. Next slide. I'm just a bit rushed and keeping in view your valuable time and also your patience. And integrating ICT tools in teaching, this is very, very important. Maybe also emphasizing on this, especially online teaching, flip learning and distant learning, all these things. Since we are in a direct face-to-face, this is not much relevant. Just next slide. So if you look at the picture, and many of you can recognize easily. You may not recognize your own relatives who visited in the childhood and pampered you and gave a kiss. But you can, just recall Bill Gates is most pioneering, powerful person in the field of software. Bill Gates, and he mentioned about the technology is just a tool. It's just a tool, just like the tools we use in our day-to-day. It's a tool. In terms of getting the kids working together and motivating them, the teacher is the most important. Without the teacher, the human being, technology, the tools cannot work for themselves. So it is not like the movie, old movie, Atlasaria movie, and there will be some kind of thing and flying in the air. Technology cannot work for itself and its own. Even though AI also there, artificial intelligence. Now yesterday, in the occasion of Science Day, recently a Science Day, C.V. Raman sir, birth celebration, Science Day, and we conducted a quiz, online quiz, consisting of 50 bits. And one student finished that quiz within 3 minutes. The science bits were variously repeated, but time was given half an hour. But he didn't start at the beginning of that half an hour time. He entered at almost like a charge of the test, got high voltage shock. How did he able to do? The simple reason is AI technology. There is a called chat GPT. You are skill. There is a Socratean method. Socrates is one of the great philosophers, and Aristotle, Plato, and Socrates. The method of teaching and learning is simple conversation. You ask and I tell, you ask. That kind of exchange of information through that dialogism is the great way of learning. That's the traditional part and parcel of traditional methods. So that kind of thing in another incarnation has come now. And just you can open mobile and chat GPT, you type and ask anything, it will give you without hesitation. But only thing is, and it collects only, and we are putting the data. So the machine cannot run. If you see the government of India's initiations, especially NME ICT, National Mission on Education through ICT, ridiculous. We have one kind of, in Andhra Pradesh, there is a project, Polvaram. When I listen to, come across the word Polvaram, simply disaster. It never ends, it never gets completed. Like some missions also government of India have just for kind of official purposes, but materialistically and realization is not happening, even though they are throwing the crores of rupees, and also people are also leakage, some kind of breakage, some non-cooperation and all other kinds of things causing final failure of the missions. Either we have Sindhu and National Knowledge Network, and also most important Swayam. Many of you are aware of. In Swayam platform we have courses and we can also take part in the courses, get the certificates. That's also recognized by various governments. and for our internal promotions now. And NPT is the democracy and planning the things, but practically some are, reaching the target in a wonderful manner. Education delivery. So education delivery can be enhanced in terms of its resource management. Suppose every time to the other main aspect of learning, so-called skill acquisition and all. Quality improvement techniques and also measuring, monitoring programs, and these are various purposes and of enhancing the education process. Next slide. I am just selectively focusing on certain slides now. Challenges and opportunities. Anything you see, the four sides you can see. Some you see implementation of ICT and IRIS, most but how you can see that because the limited funds also. So low resource countries have that disadvantage. It's a challenge, including India also facing that challenge. Next one, specific, what we call. Suppose if you hire some technology and they charge lots of money, and the recurring thing, every time we hire the technology they charge, that cannot be continued maintained for a long time. Neither we invest one time and now we can maintain. So such is the condition of certain public sector and government of India departments. Another one, and difficulties with language and cultural barriers. Suppose if you are teaching or using technology and people sitting at some distant places, how do we know their cultural background? How do we know that their social background? How do we know that their simple ones, their personal condition on that day and time? Because we are not looking at them personally. They are at distant places. Neither they are looking at us. Sometimes they switch off the cam and listen to me, and let's go for other one. We know the reality. When we participate in some activity or some other thing online, we on and we keep it, and we will continue with other important so-called. So like that, some challenges we have, and language, cultural barriers also. When you want to teach your students who are at the Gulf countries or some other African countries or advanced first world countries, there is a cultural barrier always. Because even in our region, the first zone itself, SRIKAKULAM region and Visakhapatnam, a slight difference you can see. And some person says Pallako, and some other fellow says Wallako. Some other fellow may say Urko. They all are same. Bhashal verene gaani bhavam okate. So there is an aspect of cultural differences and also socio-economical differences and challenges. We have opportunities, and if we look at the brighter side of the technology, the opportunity promote student engagement and learning with the help of nowadays. We are lucky to have this upgraded kind of classrooms. Even government, Madam shared her own past experience, decades back experience in terms of as a student and also as a professional person also. But if I just look into 20s, 90s, 95 or 98, and that time there was no proper government, and I want to tell you in this context, entire education is government. Primary education is government, high school is government, and intermediate is government, and degree also MR College Vijayanagaram, and PG onwards, PG and B.Ed, PhD Andhra University. Completely, I didn't spend any single penny for my real education purpose. Used to be on that scholarship and merit and all those things. So like that, when there is a merit, a commitment, our government is there all the time for the meritorious people. Just you have to identify yourself and take yourself from that disadvantaged, poor condition, average to that above average and the excellent student. So how are you doing? Where do you come from? And did you take the breakfast? And why didn't you do the homework I gave yesterday? And these kind of so many myriads of things we do. Just if we come and just write something and display something, explain to everyone. Not like that. The modern teacher is everything. Modern teacher is beyond parent. I can say quantitatively, a child spends a couple of hours at home with parents. But whereas there is so much affinity and connection, and so that we can work for their well-being. So there comes the matter, understanding students' progress and performance, their condition, with the help of the technology, and using the traditional methods. In addition to traditional methods, we can do better way, saving the time. Next. And there is one more, George Gorios, and technology will never replace great teachers. It can be transformational. So the real metamorphosis, happens there. The magic happens there. Suppose a poor teacher can be managed with the technology, but the great teachers will become very exceptional with the technology, because the tools will give you the additional impetus, the opportunity. So one important motivational quote. Next slide. Examples of successful implementation. Some countries you can see, not only the first world, the European countries, America, all the America. These, if you see, even KG to PG, LKG, kindergarten children also, connected with technology in the advanced countries. But so-called ours is a developing country, and countries all the time trying their level best. Right. So these the next benefits of using ICT technology. I just simply simplified summarized notes I am presenting to you, where I am, I can explain the complexities. Benefits of using ICT tools: increase comprehension and retention. When we can understand better with the help of, suppose if I explain, I want to give identity of a person, however I describe about Sir Panda sir or Madam sir, you cannot understand. If I show the picture of Panda sir, you will simply get into your mind. Like that, you just share the information that so and so faculty from GMRIT giving speech, you explain for 10 minutes, they will not understand. If you just send a picture, they can simply get it. So such is the power of multimedia. In that line I can say there is a proverb, a Chinese proverb, a picture is worth 1,000 words. A picture is worth 1,000 words. There is a rationale behind using that multimedia technology rather than plain words. Even you eat a plain rice, you don't like much. If there is some kind of flavor, color, some other ingredients mixed with the same rice, you will like better. Such is the same thing here also. So the monotonousness, the dryness, can be eliminated and make it better and very, very interesting with the help of these technology ingredients. And increased ability to study for exam center and quizzes. Usually previously we used to depend on the seniors notes and age old and transferred. And I can recall one thing, Andhra University, I was in one of the hostels in Andhra University, Nagarjuna Hostel, first semester, absolutely new, clueless about Visakhapatnam and university, and seniors approached. They had a meeting saying that if you want our support, our own notes, you have to do as we say. It's like a kind of smooth ragging. So I said, I want to rag them against. I said, I don't need your notes. I make my notes. I know how to make and how to take notes from the books and lectures. So we don't, give me any kind of false form. So I said like that. So, but if I see the notes taken by the very seniors, by the other students, my classmates, I could see all the history of the generations. The one maybe that might have created and shared at the time of maybe 1985 or 86, and maybe my professors or retired people were also there writing that notes. But every year I'm taking the Xerox and writing their name and some annotations and again transport to the next generation. Every time I couldn't see anything clearly end of the 5 to 6 the exchanges of that notes. That's why I rejected. But here with technology, you can make the notes and preserve the notes for the future use. Just like teachers also can draw a plan, good plan, and modify time to time. The very soft copy or something you have, you can use for the next time. So that the saving time, I say to my students, time is life. Time is DOB, time is DOD. One we don't know. Date of birth and date of death. In between what we are now. Time is money. Time is energy, time is everything. When I say life is everything. So if you can save time to create your better time, better future, better life, in a way that you can prepare your for exams in a better way. Also study for a long periods of time also. And also independent learning, most important aspect emphasized by explain detailedly. That is the disaster happening. We have to give just like Gulliver Travels or Merchant of Venice, pieces of literature, something. Give them to, read their own. But the students for that also they are approaching in a conventional way. Sir, provide some notes. And maybe you don't find any reference or textbook. There again we are onto the same track. So we are explaining the non-detailed also. Also, the cultivation of self-learning, lifelong learning is missing. So, more dependent on the processing things. I can see now Swiggy or Zomato. From here itself, as I'm talking, I click a button, the parcel will come and put there. That's a quick, the food, fast food, what we call. Just like fast food, the faculty and students also wow depending on the technology. So the wow dependence is not good. So we have to manually, conventionally achieve the things, but to reduce the replication, reduce the time waste, reduce the energies and money, you can use the same users in a better manner, customized manner. So next slide. So here one more pioneering person in technology. So how many of you recognize him? You know the fruit apple? You know? Apple. So not the fruit, the technology. So technology is just a tool. It's not about replacing teachers, it's about supporting teachers. Any tool come into our life only for supporting, not replacing. And I mentioned, I just cited an example, historical example. They, the laborers, the workers, dare to damage that machines. That is only because of the false insecurity. The machines can never replace faculty, teachers. So technology in the same manner. Next slide. Next slide. So, in what way we can use the technology? What is the purpose? Textbooks and resource material. If you see, textbooks, lots of e-books. Any book you tell me, 90% of the books, not 10%, 91, just guessingly, 90% of the books I can bring to you now itself. I can send to your mail because such is the world now. I write a book, I put it in the website, and that is somehow circulated in the net of the nets, internet. Freely nowadays. Ocean of books, PDF books, this one, that one. Content is not a problem. Information is exploded. It's just like what we call revolutions we have. White revolution, milk products, and also green revolution. Wonderful, croppings and all. Like that, the information revolution happened. Everywhere information is available, but understanding it, analyzing it and evaluating it, applying in your context is also very discriminatory knowledge one should have. So course materials and digital whiteboards. Now you see the OHP projector, overhead projector with a power. I can display anything there. I need not to go there and erase that previous slide, just like in a traditional manner, and write something again. So it is a technology. And then just the previous slide. And class websites also, teacher tools also, in advanced countries. In this context, not much relevant, but if you see the advanced developed countries, for every class, teachers have their own websites and some kind of blogs, some kind of web platforms. There they share their material, give assignments and follow up, everything like that. So next, the teachers tool. And one more. And Gillian Beers, she is actually a powerful technologist in the 21st century. So technology can provide a dynamic environment for learning, but it is only one piece of the puzzle. So if you want to solve some problem, puzzles, some games and all, there is only one piece. So you need to identify the other pieces also to solve the puzzle completely. Like the technology is one leads to student success. Only having the technology at ChatGPT or somewhere tab or internet connection, mobile, it cannot take you to success. So other elements, understanding, commitment, involvement, in setting the goals and having the good communication skills, planning for the future. So many things you have to do manually, committedly, apart from using simply the technology. Technology can never replace the traditional systems. That is one thing. Next, ICT tools, actually a typographical error, it's not tools. ICT, you can market it. So ICT are tools to support other aspects of teaching process, assessment, and also planning. Suppose if you want to conduct some descriptive test, there is a kind of rubric, how we are going to evaluate that essay, some answer. based on the presentation, based on the language, based on their critical thinking, or based on the, what we call the solution they derive at the end, or else how they start with the answering. And like that we can set some rubrics, set criteria to judge their students' responses, and that can be also designed with the help of technology, the planning, lesson planning and rubrics, and even evaluating student learning also very quick. And as a manual evaluation, for the beginning itself, it has its own pros and cons. Suppose a person who is like, I am a faculty, I am teaching to my set of students. If I identify my students, I give with prejudice and selfishness and also favoritism. Some students I award more marks, some students deliberately fail them. There, who comes to the rescue of those such poor students? So there is the role of ethics and the morals of the teacher come into the play. So a teacher must be multifaceted, not only in terms of skills, also in terms of its philosophies and ethics and morals also. We should treat all the students equally when required and discriminately when we come to their learning process, and giving different treatment to make them learn the same thing. So next slide. And limitations of using technology in education. Number one, I told you, valuing all those benefits. Actually you are a BPL, below poverty line, earning 60 or 80, 1 lakh rupees, per annum, you still, eligible for these things. Because very poor, you cannot afford personally. So cost is one element. Suppose if I want to buy personal laptop and I have to spend 30 to 40,000 rupees, where do? Even my parents are laborers and extracurriculars at the agriculture level, so where do they bring that money? They cannot even go for the regular amenities, food, shelter, medicine and all. So those things and technical issues, and not only having that machine at our disposal and handling it and maintaining it and managing it is also important. Suppose if somebody give me some wonderful 10 lakhs car, I don't know how to drive it. What should I do? So the skill also matters. And if as long as it goes well, I can drive it. If once it breaks, यदि अंतरम पाड़ाई అది ఒకసారి ఆగిపోయిందంటే మరి బయటకు వచ్చి చేతులు ఎత్తివలసిందే, ఆధారపడాలి ఎవరి మీద. So we will become helpless. That means we should not simply having technology is not complete in its process. We should know how to maintain it also. ఒకసారిగా సిస్టమ్ అయిపోయింది, మళ్ళీ ఎలా స్టార్ట్ చేసుకోవాలి, ట్రబుల్ షూటింగ్ ఎలా చేయాలి, అప్లికేషన్లో ఇన్స్టాల్ ఎలా చేయాలి, లేదంటే దాన్ని అప్డేట్ ఎలా చేసుకోవాలి, ఇవన్నీ మెయింటెనెన్స్ మాట. ఇదేంటి సింపుల్గా మన రోజువారీ ఇంట్లో మన కిచెన్, మన రెగ్యులర్ లివింగ్ రూమ్ని రోజు కడుక్కొని ముగ్గులు పెట్టుకొని నీట్గా ఉంచుకొని మన బ్లాంకెట్స్ మనం ఎలా సర్దుకుంటామో, టెక్నాలజీ హాజ్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్ డిసడ్వాంటేజ్. అదర్ సైడ్ వీ హావ్ టు నో ద టెక్నికాలిటీస్ ఆల్సో, హౌ టు యూజ్ ఇట్. సో అంతవరకు ఏదో ఒక కొత్త రకం పెన్ ఇచ్చారంటే ఆ పెన్ను ఎటువైపు తిప్పితే ఏది రాస్తుందో తెలియదు, చిన్న పెన్లో ఉన్న టెక్నికే తెలియదు. ఏదో పెన్ డ్రైవ్ ఇచ్చామనుకో చాలా మందికి ఇలా పెట్టాలో అలా ఫ్లిప్ చేయాలో తెలియదు చాలా మందికి. ఈ ఛార్జింగ్ కేబుల్స్ కూడా అంతవరకు ఎందుకు, అది మనం ఆడ్గా అది చూసుకోకుండా ఫోర్స్గా పెడతాం, దానివల్ల ఆ పిన్ డ్యామేజ్ అయిపోతుంది. కంప్యూటర్ అంటే టెక్నికల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ రాంగ్ వేలో మనం మేనేజ్ చేయడం. సో అలాంటి టెక్నికల్ ఇష్యూస్ ఉన్నాయి, డిస్ట్రాక్షన్స్ కూడా ఉన్నాయి. కానీ చూడండి, మనం ఒకటి చూసుకుంటే నెట్లో మరొకటి పాపప్ యాడ్ వస్తుంది మధ్యలో నుంచి, అదేంటంటే కమర్షియల్ అయిపోయింది. మనకి ఇప్పుడు జ్ఞానం పట్టించాలంటే ఒక దుకాణం ఒకటి దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే అయితే నా బొమ్మ పెట్టు, నా పేరు పెట్టు, అప్పుడు నీకు 10,000 రూపాయలు ఇస్తాను, 5,000 ఇస్తాను అంటే స్వార్థం అనమాట. దిస్ ఈజ్ అ వరల్డ్ రన్నింగ్ విత్ ద ఫుల్ సెల్ఫ్ సెంట్రిక్ ఫర్ ఏ గుడ్ పర్పస్. దే ఆల్సో వాంట్ టు లివ్, యూ ఆల్సో. ఇట్ ఈస్ లైక్ one for all for one. Cooperative living. There is Alexander Dumas novel called Three Musketeers. In that 3 soldiers will be there. If one soldier is in trouble, the other 2 will come into the rescue. Like that, even the students can share in that manner only. Cooperative living. If they have notes, good notes, they can share among the other students and each other. Not all are good at mathematics, not all are good at English. They can share their knowledge to others and they can undulatedly reach the level of required level of knowledge. The sharing only caring. Even in education also applies. Not in a wrong sense. In a exam hall, don't share anything. I tell the students, as long as this 4 wall, this so-called rectangular square, when I am a teacher, you are a student. When I teach, you are a learner. But when I am a invigilator, you are not a student. You are a test taker. So there is a different set of rules. You cannot ask and tell anything. And if you do so, that comes under different code, malpractice. So like that, don't depend on the things in an inappropriate manner also. And students have the tendency, all the human beings have tendency. What is that? And we keep the things for the last moment, so-called procrastination, postponing. రేపు చేద్దాం ఓ టైం ఉంది కదా, పర్వాలేదు. పరీక్షల ముందు మాత్రం బర్నింగ్ ద నైట్ ఆయిల్స్. ఏంటి అసలు రేపు పరీక్ష, ఎల్లుండి పరీక్ష అనగా రాత్రి పనులు నిద్రాహారాలు మనిషి, no rest, no sleep, no eating. I am saying that I am preparing for the exam. The preparation started a couple of hours ago only, even though the semester has been running for 3 months, 4 months. That is the problem. And social isolation. Technology, if everything is happening in the mobile, what is happening? You see, some of the movies are successfully depicting the things. 4 friends in a room, and 4 are at the 4 corners, and sitting in their own way, posture, and looking at their own mobiles, chatting, cheating, whatever is going on. But they simply like deserted. They are in isolation. Even they are physically, they are together in the same room. They are not bothering about their own, problems and common things. That is the issue. So there is an element of social isolation. Too much of dependence on the technology also causes social isolation. That means that the human touch, the relationship of student and teacher and friend and other friend and relatives, that will be missing. Because you are at the United States of America, some Delaware, some other a city, and you are SRIKAKULAM, and you just start with him anytime. That is why you don't go there, he won't come here also. That's a social isolation. And dependence also. This is another threat. Over dependence on anything is dangerous. You have to have all the time backup. There is a recent movie, Hindi movie, a concept message is backup ke backup undalante. Backup is what is the support. The manual preparation. Just like madam has delivered excellent presentation manually. No support, nothing else. And she supported everybody else. All of us. Like that, when you are independent and in terms of learning and teaching, that will be most useful. But use the technology judiciously and appropriately and purposefully to achieve the better set goals for your progress. So that is important. So there are limitations. Everything has a limitation. ఇప్పుడు ఈవెన్ కాంటినెంటల్ జీట్ ఒక బుల్లెట్ బయట ఉంటుంది, రాయల్ ఎన్ఫీల్డ్ క్లాసిక్ ఏ మోడల్ తీసుకుని 3 లక్షలు పెట్టుకునేసి కాశ్మీర్ నుంచి కన్యాకుమారి వరకు ఒకటే స్పీడ్లో వెళ్ళిపోతారంటే ఈ మధ్యలో ఎక్కడికైనా వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. ఎందుకంటే అన్ని గంటలు అది నాన్ స్టాప్గా ఏ యంత్రం పనిచేయదు, వేడెక్కిపోతుంది. అదే నీకు 2 గంటలు ట్రావెల్ చేసి ఒక 10 నిమిషాల గ్యాప్ ఇవ్వు, ఇంజిన్ చల్లబడుతుంది, మళ్ళీ స్టార్ట్ చేయి, మళ్ళీ వెళ్ళిపోతుంది. అలాగే దేశాలు కాదు, కాంటినెంట్స్ దాటేస్తాం. So like that we also plan the things how we do, and bits and pieces we have to digestion. మనం చూడండి, ఒక భోజనం ఒక రెసిపీ రైస్ ఉంది, చుట్టూ పప్పు కూర, మనకి రకరకాల రెసిపీస్, పెరుగు లేకపోతే పచ్చడి ఇవన్నీ ఉన్నాయి, అన్నీ కలిపేసి ఒకసారి మింగిలేక మనం there is a element called process, there is a purpose, and there is also an element called very sensitive element, aesthetics. మనం ఇష్టపడితే కష్టపడాలంటే ఇష్టపడాలి. There is element, this is a mutual. When you like it, you will do it at any cost. So first of all, my suggestion to my dear students, just like it first. Before establishing liking, think why should I like it? For that question you may be reasons like, because I like that field of study, I like that profession, I want to become so and so, that is why I must like it. When you like it, you start the real journey of involving the learning the things. There you take the help of the tool and you will go quicker. Suppose if I want to, పూర్వ రోజుల్లో చెప్పేవారు కాశీకి వెళ్ళినా కాటికి వెళ్ళినా ఒకటే అనేవారు. కాశీ ఎక్కడ? కాటికి అంటే సార్ in Telugu burial ground, crematorium. After dead, a person is dead, we take to the special place called that burial ground. కాశీకి వెళ్తే people used to travel కాశీ, part of the pilgrimage. ఒక యాత్ర కింద వెళ్ళేవారు. ఈ మధ్య దారిలోనే ఫర్ సమ్ రీజన్, ఎందుకంటే వాళ్ళు ట్రావెలింగ్ లేక, మెడికల్ ఫెసిలిటీస్ లేక, మరొకటి లేక ఏంటంటే ఇబ్బందులు పడి మధ్యలోనే చనిపోయారు ఎంతోమంది. అందువల్ల ఏంటంటే అలాంటి పరిస్థితి లేదు ఇప్పుడు అసలు వైజాగ్లో రాజీవ్ గాంధీ ఎయిర్పోర్ట్ వెళ్తే ఇందిరాగాంధీ మా అమ్మ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళిపోతాం, కొడుకు ఎయిర్పోర్ట్ ఎక్కితే తల్లి ఎయిర్పోర్ట్, పాలం ఎయిర్పోర్ట్, ఢిల్లీ వెళ్ళిపోతాం. విదిన్ 1 hour you can commute through air unimaginably. Only thing is vitamin M is required. ఇలాగా ఢిల్లీలో మనకి ట్రైన్లో వెళ్ళాలి, ఒక 1500తో అయిపోయింది, 15,000 అవుతుంది అంతే డిఫరెన్స్. ది సిటీ ఈజ్ చేంజింగ్. బట్ దేర్ ఆర్ ఫెసిలిటీస్. లైట్నింగ్ స్పీడ్లో నేర్చుకోవచ్చు. 10 సంవత్సరాలు మీరు నేర్చుకున్న చదువు కూడా 10 నెలలు నేర్చుకోవచ్చు. ఐ కెన్ అష్యూర్, బికాస్ దానికి మై ఓన్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్, ఓన్ లైఫ్ ఈజ్ ద బెస్ట్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్. ఐ డిడెంట్ గో టు ఎలిమెంటరీ. I was enjoyed my childhood better than anybody else probably here. ఆ పొలాలంట, చెట్లంట, పుట్లంట, నదులంట, జలక రకరకాల 5వ తరగతి వరకు నాకు చదువు మొక్కమే తెలియదు. ఆగస్టు 15కి వెళ్ళేవాడిని. ఎందుకు చాక్లెట్లు ఇస్తారని చెప్పేసి వెళ్ళేవాడిని. ఎప్పుడు నాకు టీచర్స్ పట్ల అపారమైన గౌరవం. పాఠం వాళ్ళు చెప్పినా చెప్పకపోయినా నాకు అర్థమైపోయినా వెనక్కి కూర్చొని దండం పెట్టి వచ్చేసాను. అయితే సెల్ఫ్ లెర్నింగ్ అనేది ఒకటి ఎప్పుడు కూడా ఎలా చెప్తారో టీచరు, మిగతా వాళ్ళు ఏం చేస్తారని ఒక అబ్జర్వేషన్, సెల్ఫ్ లెర్నింగ్ ఉండేది. నేను చదువుకున్నప్పుడు యూనివర్సిటీ ఉన్నప్పటి నుంచి నా చుట్టూ ఒక బెల్లం చుట్టూ చీమలు ఉన్నట్టుగా మా క్లాస్మేట్స్ ఉండేవారు. అరే సెమిస్టర్ వచ్చేస్తుందిరా, పాపం నువ్వే మరి 100 రోజులు అటెండ్ అయినాడు నువ్వే, నా ఇంటి నేను చూడవలసి లేదు, మ్యాథ్స్ వచ్చిన రాకపోయినా సెలవైనా వర్కింగ్ డే అయినా క్లాస్ రూమ్లో ఉంటాను. 100% అటెండెన్స్. అది మార్కులు లేకపోయినా సరే. సమ్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్స్ ఆర్ గివింగ్ మార్క్స్ ఆల్సో ఫర్ అటెండెన్స్. అయితే ఏంటంటే అలా చేస్తున్న పరిస్థితుల్లో మా క్లాస్మేట్స్కి చక్కగా నేను చెప్పగలిగేవాడిని. పేర్లన్నీ ఇక్కడ ఐఎమ్ టచింగ్ ఆన్ ద పాయింట్ కాల్డ్ ఒక టీచర్ చాలా డిస్టెన్స్ ఉంటుంది, ఒక డిగ్నిటీ ఉంటుంది, ఒక హోదా ఉంటుంది, ఒక సబ్జెక్ట్ స్కాలర్లీ ఉంటుంది, ఒక స్టాచ్యూర్ ఉంటుంది. దగ్గరికి వెళ్తే మనకు భయం వేస్తుంది. అదేదో హై వోల్టేజ్ డీపీ ఒక పవర్ మెషిన్ దగ్గరికి వెళ్ళినట్టు ఫీల్ అవుతారు కొంతమంది. అది ఈ రోజుల్లో లేదు, తగ్గింది. అది గుద్దుకొని పోతుంటారు, అది వేరే సంగతి. కానీ అలాంటి పరిస్థితులు మీరు ఫ్రెండ్స్ దగ్గర వెళ్ళి హ్యాపీగా వితౌట్ హెసిటేషన్ యూ కెన్ ఆస్క్ ద థింగ్స్, యూ కెన్ షేర్ ద థింగ్స్. బట్ మీరేమో అడుగుతారు, ఏం షేర్ చేస్తారు, అవన్నీ డిఫరెంట్ పాత్రలో తీసుకెళ్తాను. అవన్నీ పనికిరాని అన్నీ అడుగుతున్నారు, పనికిరాని అన్నీ చెప్తారు. అలా కాదు, చదువు మంచి లైఫ్ సంబంధించి మీరు ప్లాన్ చేసుకోండి. అది తర్వాత ఏంటంటే ఈ నెక్స్ట్ స్లైడ్ లిమిటేషన్స్. మీకు ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఇది ప్రత్యేకించి ఫ్యాకల్టీకి సంబంధించి నేను చెప్పాలనుకున్నాను. స్టూడెంట్స్కి అయితే జస్ట్ వినొచ్చు, చూడవచ్చు, అర్థం అవ్వదు. అది బ్లూమ్స్ టాక్సానమీ, బ్లూమ్స్ అనేటువంటి ఎడ్యుకేషన్ ఎక్స్పర్ట్ ఏంటంటే మనకి ఎంటైర్ మనకి నాలెడ్జ్ సిస్టమ్ ఏదైతే ఉందో ఎడ్యుకేషన్ మొత్తం ఒక 6 డొమైన్స్ కింద క్లాసిఫై చేశారు. అది ఎలాగంటే ఫస్ట్ అంతస్తు, 2వ అంతస్తు, 3వ అంతస్తు లాగా ఒక గ్రెడేషన్ అనమాట, స్టెప్ బై స్టెప్ గ్రెడేషన్. మనకి మెమరీ లోడ్ కానీ థింకింగ్ కానీ ఆ 6 లెవెల్స్ ఇచ్చారు. ఒకటి ఏంటంటే లీస్ట్ లెవెల్ ఏంటంటే మెమరీ సో కాల్డ్ మెమరీ చిప్ అంట కదా, చెప్పింది గుర్తుంచుకోవడం. తర్వాత ఏంటంటే అర్థం చేసుకోవడం నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్. అంటే గుర్తుండిపోతే సంబరం కాదు, అది ఎందుకు ఏంటనేది అర్థం చేసుకో. ఫోన్ నెంబర్ నేను సేవ్ చేసేసుకోవడం మెమరీలో ఉంది, అది ఏంటి ఎవరిదో ఏంటో ఎందుకనేది తెలియదు, యూజ్లెస్ అక్కడ. సో ఏంటంటే అర్థం చేసుకోవడం నెక్స్ట్ లెవెల్. థర్డ్ వల్ల ఏంటంటే అవసరం వచ్చినప్పుడు దాన్ని ఉపయోగించడం, అప్లై. రిమెంబర్, అండర్స్టాండ్ అండ్ అప్లై. దీస్ యాక్చువల్ 3 levels are called LOT, లోవర్ ఆర్డర్ థింకింగ్ స్కిల్స్ అంటారు. ఇన్ కాగ్నిటివ్ ప్రాసెస్ రిమెంబర్, అండర్స్టాండ్ అండ్ అప్లై ఆర్ లోవర్ ఆర్డర్ థింకింగ్ స్కిల్స్. ఇది మాన్యువల్గా మనం ట్రెడిషనల్ పేపర్ బేస్డ్ టెస్ట్లో టెస్ట్ చేసి వాట్ ఈస్ E is equal to MC², explain. What is CPU? What is cache memory? What is RAM? What is ROM? What is revolution? Like that we can ask these memory related questions, understanding memory and all. But other 3 levels, 4, 5 and 6 are very important. After having the information in our memory and understanding it what is what and trying to apply at our need and necessity, and next level is analysis. ఏది చూడండి, ఒక విమెన్ కానీ మనం ఒక షాపింగ్కి వెళ్తే చూస్తాం, ఒకే మనకు కావాల్సిన ఒక ప్యాంటు, ఒక షర్ట్, కానీ ఎన్ని మోడల్స్, ఎన్ని డిజైన్ చూస్తాం, కాస్ట్ చూస్తాం, డిజైన్ చూస్తాం, రంగు చూస్తాం, ఆ ఫిట్టింగ్ అన్నీ చూస్తాం, డిస్కౌంట్ కూడా చూస్తాం. చూసి అప్పుడు ఒక ఫైనల్ డెసిషన్కి వస్తుంది. దట్స్ వాట్ ఐ కాల్ అనాలిసిస్. మల్టిపుల్ ఆస్పెక్ట్స్ని కంపేర్ చేయడానికి మనం ఏమంటే అనాలిసిస్. అంతటితో ప్రాసెస్ అయిపోలేదు. నెక్స్ట్ స్టెప్ అనాలిసిస్ తర్వాత వాల్యుయేషన్, అంటే జడ్జ్మెంట్. కొనాలా వద్దా, టు బి ఆర్ నాట్ టు బి, దట్ ఈస్ ద క్వశ్చన్. టు బై ఆర్ నాట్ టు బై. సో దేర్ హ్యాపెన్స్ ద హయ్యర్ లెవెల్ థింకింగ్. ఒక జడ్జ్మెంట్కి ఒక ద రోడ్ నాట్ టేకెన్. 2-3 రూట్లు ఉన్నాయి, అటెల్లో ఇటెల్లో డైలమాలో ఉంటాం. లోకల్ అయితే కనిపించడం అడుగుదామంటే ఆ రూటా సార్, ఈ రూట్ అని మనం విమెన్స్ కాలేజ్కి వెళ్తుందంటే అక్కడ ఎవరు లేకపోతే చూసుకొని ఉంటాం. ఇప్పుడైతే గూగుల్ ఇవన్నీ వచ్చాయి. అప్పుడు ఏం చేస్తాం, ఏదో రాంగ్ పాత్ పట్టుకున్నాం అనుకో, మనం వేరే డెస్టినేషన్కి వెళ్ళిపోతాం. అలాగే ఏంటంటే రైట్ డెసిషన్స్ తీసుకోవడం అనేది ఒక ఎబిలిటీ ఒక స్టూడెంట్స్గా మీరు. సో ఆ స్కిల్ని మనం ఏంటంటే ఇవాల్యుయేషన్ స్కిల్ అంటారు. So you should able to come to the right conclusions and take right decisions with the help of the permutations and combinations and available various heterogeneous data with all the low level thinking skills, memorizing, understanding, applying. And last but not least, highest one is creativity. There lives that the cream of the humanity, so-called the scientists. The scientists, the scholars, the so-called the people. Wright brothers, just like Bamana brothers, Wright brothers. Or else you have Wright brothers. All will write and will but write. What did they invent? The thing that was not exist in the world. Invents, that is invents, not discovery. Captain James Cook discovered that was there, but nobody seen it. That is James Cook, Australia, and Vasco da Gama route to India, Columbus. All these things happened. But లేదు కూడా చెప్పారంటే వాళ్ళే సైంటిస్ట్. క్రియేటివిటీ. ఆ క్రియేటివ్ లెవెల్కి మనం వెళ్ళాలి. సంథింగ్ రోజు వండుతున్నటువంటి ఉప్మా వండేయడం ఈజీయే. ఏమో ఒక గ్లాసు పిండి తీసుకొని ఆ నూకలో 2 గ్లాసులు రైస్ వేసి కొంచెం సిమ్లో పెట్టామంటే 5 నిమిషాల్లో నీకు అయిపోతుంది. కావాల్సిన తేవలు చదువుకొని తినేది అయిపోయింది. కానీ క్రియేటివ్గా న్యూ రెసిపీస్ తయారు చేయడం అంటే ద క్రియేటివిటీ. So not following, not replicating, not duplicating, not simply doing the same thing, but you have to come up with innovation. Innovation is the key for the future. So like that, the creativity involves in the top level. So after excelling all these three levels only, you can create. When you don't know how to write a C programming using A plus B plus C, 3 variables, you don't know how to write the new program. The basics are required. So like that, just like tables, 2 2s are 4, 2 4, 2 are like that. After achieving all these fundamentals, we come to the trigonometry, advanced, all those things, integrations and all. So like that, Bloom's taxonomy is such one. Entire knowledge is divided, classified into 6 levels. But now I am talking about digital aspect. Go to the next slide. So in terms of that digital aspects, the tools are there to provide such things. First level, memorizing things. Like that, you have certain skills and certain abilities related to memory skills. Suppose if you can, time is across. I am winding up. This is the last slide actually. There is Thanksgiving slide. Yeah. So in that same line of thinking, Bloom's taxonomy, digital Bloom's taxonomy, the same thing. మనం మెమరీని ఎవరైనా గుర్తుంచుకోవాలంటే ఏం టీచ్ చేస్తాం? అది టెక్నాలజీకి ఉపయోగించవచ్చు. లేదా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలంటే ఎలాంటి యాప్స్ అండ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఉపయోగించుకోవచ్చు? వాటికి టెక్నాలజీ పరంగా ఉంది. గుర్తుంచుకోవాలంటే మెమరైజ్. అది అప్లయింగ్ అంటే ఏంటి? అప్లికేషన్ ఇప్పుడు క్యాల్కులేటర్ని ఎలా యూజ్ చేయాలి మొబైల్లో, లేదంటే మనకి చార్ట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, ఎక్సెల్ షీట్స్ ఉన్నాయి, స్ప్రెడ్ షీట్స్ అనేది. దానిలో ఒక డేటా ఇస్తే దాన్ని అనాలిసిస్ ఎలా చేసుకోవాలి? ఇవి అంటే కాగితం మీద మనం రోజువారీగా చేసే పనులే కంప్యూటర్లో చేస్తాం అంతే. ఆ కంప్యూటర్లో చేసేటువంటి స్కిల్స్ ఏమంటాం? బ్లూమ్స్ డిజిటల్ టాక్సానమీ అంటాం అంతే. అవన్నీ కూడా టీచర్స్కి కావాలి, స్టూడెంట్స్కి కావాలి. ఒక 500 GB డ్రైవ్ ఉన్న ల్యాప్టాప్లో డేటా ఎక్కడున్నదని వెతుక్కోవడం రావాలి మనకి. ఆ డేటా మన రీచ్ అయిన తర్వాత దాన్ని ఓపెన్ చేసి యాక్సెస్ అవ్వడం రావాలి. సో లైక్ దట్ ద స్కిల్స్ ఆర్ అబ్సల్యూట్లీ. ఒక వీడియో క్రియేట్ చేయడం, ఒక ఇన్స్ట్రక్షనల్ వీడియో, ఒక సాఫ్ట్వేర్ డిజైన్ చేయడం, ఒక వెబ్సైట్ క్రియేట్ చేయడం, ఇవన్నీ హైయెస్ట్ లెవెల్ క్రియేటివిటీ. So the other things, based on these 6 levels we have. So I think you have, enjoyed the session. So I made it a mixed kind of vernacular and Telugu also. Panda sir may be baffled sometime because of Telugu. Are you aware of Telugu, sir? A bit. Thank you. So next slide. Next slide is the slide you are expecting, some of you. Okay, next. Click on that. Thank you all of you for this golden opportunity. Once again, I thank the principal sir and also the cabinet and organizing team and the teachers, one and all. And thank you for inviting me. Thank you very much. And students also very eager. Their point of view I can understand. Here is a madam, but how will be sir? Actually, co-convener is my other half, better half. She will remain as better half only. Thank you, madam.
very much, sir. You have given us such a wonderful, energetic and brief lecture. And really, we are mesmerized with your lecture, sir. Because nowadays the ICT tool, uses of ICT tool in learning is very, very much more important. And it has got a special place in our teaching scenario. So, sir had explained so many things. So, most of the things he has covered is that though there are so many digital technologies are available to teach, but still the what do we call it as the fundamental teaching is that the physical, the teacher should be there. So he has given importance at the same time. He has given an importance to the teacher at the same time the digital technologies also. Now we shall felicitate all our eminent people now. So firstly, the felicitation of Dr. Simhachalam has taken place. So next, I call upon Dr. Jagannath Panda Garu onto the dais.
అందరికీ నమస్కారం అండి. ఈరోజు డిఫరెంట్ ఎన్వైరన్మెంట్ క్రియేట్ చేశారు మన చీఫ్ గెస్ట్ మైత్రి మేడం అయితేనేమి, మన కీనోట్ స్పీకర్స్ అయినటువంటి జగన్నాథ్ పండా గారు అయితేనేమి, సింహాచలం గారు అయితేనేమి, చాలా స్టూడెంట్స్ అండ్ స్కాలర్స్ అండ్ ఫ్యాకల్టీ ఆర్ రియల్లీ ఎన్రిచ్డ్. టుడే జగన్నాథ్ పండా గారు భగవద్గీతలో శ్రీకృష్ణుడు అర్జునుడికి ఏ విధంగా హితోపదేశం చేశారో ఈ రోజు మనకు ఆ ప్లేస్ లో శ్రీకృష్ణుడే కనిపించారు. చాలా అద్భుతమైన నోట్ చేశారు. సంస్కృత శ్లోకాలు అయితేనేమి, ధృతరాష్ట్రుడి నుంచి ఆధునిక భారత విధానంలో కబీర్దాస్ వరకు ఎన్నో అద్భుతమైన విషయాలు మనకి చాలా చక్కగా తెలియజేశారు. ఫస్ట్ గుడ్ ఇనిషియేషన్ బై జగన్నాథ్ పండా గారు అండ్ వెరీ మచ్ థ్యాంక్ఫుల్ సార్. We are very fortunate to have today for seminar. And thank you so much for accepting our felicitations on behalf of our colleagues.
Thank you. I thank each one of you.
Next. మైత్రి మేడం. పరిచయం చిరునామా అవసరం లేని, పరిచయం అవసరం లేని ఒక వ్యక్తి మనకి మైత్రి మేడం. ఫార్మర్ ప్రిన్సిపల్ ఆఫ్ అవర్ గవర్నమెంట్ కాలేజ్ అటానమస్ శ్రీకాకుళం. అక్కడ ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ ఇన్ చార్ట్ పెట్టారు. దుర్గాబాయి దేశముఖ్ అయితేనేమి, సావిత్రిబాయి పూలే గారు అయితేనేమి, అందులో మైత్రి మేడం గారి ఫోటోని ఇన్వాల్వ్ చేయలేదు. నెక్స్ట్ టైం చూస్తాం. ఎందుకంటే పునాది ఎంపవర్మెంట్ మా విమెన్ ఫ్యాకల్టీకి అయితేనేమి, విమెన్ స్టూడెంట్స్కి అయితేనేమి ఎంపవర్ చేసిన వ్యక్తి షీఈ్ నథింగ్ బట్ షీఈ్ నన్ అదర్ దాన్ మైత్రి మేడం. అద్భుతంగా ఈరోజు సెమినార్ చాయిస్ బేస్డ్ క్రెడిట్ సిస్టమ్ అయితేనేమి, అలాగే మల్టిపుల్ ఎగ్జిట్స్, మల్టిపుల్ ఎంట్రీస్ ఫ్రమ్ 68 నేషనల్ ఎడ్యుకేషనల్ పాలసీ రైట్ ఫ్రమ్ ద 68 అంటిల్ 2020 ఏ విధంగా అడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఏంటి, డిసడ్వాంటేజెస్ అని క్రిస్టల్ క్లియర్ గా కుండ బద్దలు కొట్టినట్టు నరేంద్ర మోడీ గారికి చెప్పాలి మనం ఇక్కడికి వచ్చాక ఆ డిసడ్వాంటేజెస్ ఏంటో. రియల్లీ సార్, రియల్లీ మేడం, we are so much appreciated. Thank you so much for accepting our felicitation on behalf of our college. First of all, very much thankful once again for the gracious presence of all here. A small announcement. First session is completed now. Lunch, కింద మనకి delicious lunch మీకోసం ఎదురు చూస్తూ ఉంది. And registration కూడా some more people have the chance to register. కింద మనకి registration team ఉన్నారు, అక్కడ chance register చేసుకోవచ్చు. So after lunch the session will commence from 2 o'clock. So have a delicious lunch and hope to meet all again once again here. 2:15. 2:15 you should have gathered here. Thank you.